All right, we have the FNX. Love this pistol, right? We put the Sealy on it. I wanted to make sure it was going to work because this does hang out a little far for my liking, but turns out worked great. Everything ejects just fine. And then I did run into an issue. My magazine started feeling weird, popping the mag out and even pressing the button. And I can't show this here because of how YouTube is. I'm sure y'all understand. They just don't like us putting mags in and doing stuff like that. Or I would have got the other camera out and tried to actually show you guys what's going on. But it ended up being an issue with the actual magazine. I'm like, man, these are like new magazines with new followers. And what's happening is this little part out here. So here is the magazine, and this one works. If we look at the center of it, this lines up a little to the left of the center. The magazine that doesn't work is right there. Actually, hold on. Yeah, actually not look through the camera. Yeah, I think I'm getting it backwards. So the one where the follower tilts all the way to the left right there, right, and goes right here, it's tilting more towards this way. It's getting caught right here in the gun. It's supposed to. It's supposed to get caught right here, and your mag, last round hold, and all that is affected by that. Well, with this one, because the follower is cocked, it's either cocked a little bit to the right, so this isn't reaching as far left as it needs to be, and we have this gap right here. And yeah, I didn't cut my nails just because I'm working on this stuff. We have this gap. So this whole thing should be shifted over out to here where it can actually get caught and function the way that it's supposed to. But it's not. So I'm going to put a new follower in here. But I wanted to put this out because this is something that you need to be aware of with just high power cartridges, right? You have a lot of pressure in this whole system, including the magazine, right? I've had to swap the springs out in these for 460 springs. They're like, don't quote me on this, but they're like double the tension. So everything is working under a higher pressure, and you will start getting more wear marks into polymers, and I think that's what's happening here, just from all that extra high pressure, and things break. So yeah, I'm realizing that I'm probably gonna have to buy a bunch of these followers and just have a bunch of them around. So it's not like the actual magazine housing is broken, I don't think. So that's the only cool part of this, is it's a cheap polymer part, but I really should have saw this coming. I should have replaced this a while ago. And it's got me thinking about this gun and the way that it works. I love this gun. I have some footage of the freaking fireball that comes out of it. We just shot it. It's awesome. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna need a DPM system in here because I want to prolong the life of this pistol. It only makes sense. The recoil mitigation spring that you get from, you know, FNX, 460 Rowland, whatever, it's cool. It's a nice captive spring, but it's not going to be anything like DPM can make, where it's a 3-spring setup and it really diffuses a lot of the power before your slide slaps into your frame. So I think for something like this, I think that can prolong the life of your gun substantially, and potentially keep you from experiencing a critical failure at that. I mean, the last thing anybody wants is for one of these to blow up in their hand. It's a lot of pressure, and man, these are gnarly. Absolutely love these. I'm gonna have another video on these later because I'm working on a way of making these a little bit more reliable for the 460. Feeding these is a bit hard for a lot of pistols, apparently, I'm finding out. So yeah, that'll be another video, but for now, I just wanted to warn everybody, think about stuff like that. If you got a 460, realize that there is more pressure literally everywhere, right? Because there's so much more happening up here under higher pressures. You need a stronger spring in here to, push the ammo in there faster, and all of that catches up, and you start running into little issues like this. So the slide hold open was not working because it was not engaging this follower, and that's just something to look out for and something to keep in mind when you are talking about gnarly ass calibers like this. Speaking of which, look at that, the Olight survived. Olight's been barely clinging to life support on this gun. Look at the laser dot. It's not even a dot anymore. It's just a thing. Hold on, we can change the shape of the dot. It's funny to me that the dot even still turns on. It's not even a dot right now. It's like a little crescent thing. But the important thing is, the real important thing is the light. The Olight light actually works on this thing. This thing is worth it just for the light alone. The battery capability is actually pretty damn good on this, and it recharges very quickly. The magnetic charging that they've done is very smart, so I can't really fault them. I bought this thing primarily as a light, and it's been working amazing as a light. It doesn't flicker, never had any problems with it. The laser was just kind of like an extra cool, and I mean, yeah, the important thing is the light. So I'm actually very surprised that Olight has lasted on a 460 Roland for this long. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And the Bull Armory, or the Bull Cherokee, or whatever they're calling this thing, there's so many different bulls in this armory. I think this is gonna work well. I like the big window. I like the buffer system they have around it to protect it and to keep stuff from getting in there. It's not as good as an enclosed dot, but that's the next best thing, and at least they're trying to do something to address the issues with open emitters here. So yeah, this thing's been working pretty well, and I would say this red dot is probably too big for most pistols. It works on this pistol though. They do have one called the Ghost. They've shrunk this down a little bit. Most people would probably go with the Ghost over the Bull, especially if you have a smaller pistol than this. But I would say this Bull, you can mount this on like an AR. I mean, this is like a good dot. It's protected. It's got these bumpers, right? Another thing I like about it is, if there's an emergency, I only have one hand, it becomes really easy to rack this pistol with one hand. So thoroughly enjoying this thing so far. It's been very awesome. And I'm gonna go order some more plastic parts now. Best of luck to everybody, and have a safe and happy day. Later.